Today we're going to bring the discussion further, which we were having yesterday about trade with increasing opportunity cost. Guys, if you remember, we have already made one point that even with trade, there won't be any complete specialization under increasing opportunity cost. So with trade, nation 1 has moved from point A to B. It has not moved here when it is producing only X. It is still producing some amount of Y. Similarly, nation 2 has moved from A dash to B dash. It has not moved here when it is only producing Y. It is still producing some amount of X. Okay, so let's take it like this. So under constant cost, there is complete specialization. It is complete specialization, okay, in the production of a commodity of its comparative advantage. So for example, nation 1 has a comparative advantage in production of X. So there is a complete specialization in production of X. It doesn't produce anything of Y. So Y is 0 in that case. Similarly, nation 2 has a comparative advantage in Y. So it produces only Y. There is no production of X. But this doesn't happen under increasing cost. This doesn't happen under increasing cost. There is incomplete specialization. Right? There is incomplete specialization in both the nations. So it's not that nation 1, even though it has comparative advantage in production of X, it will produce Y. It won't produce anything of Y. Y is not equal to 0. Similarly, nation 2, which has a comparative advantage in production of Y, it is not that it is not producing anything of X. It's not that X is equal to 0. X is not equal to 0 in that case. So the question arises, why? Right. See, as nation 1, it specializes in production of X. Okay. So it incurs increasing opportunity costs. It incurs increasing opportunity costs in production of X. Similarly, as nation 2 produces more of Y, it incurs increasing opportunity cost in production of Y. Right? So as each nation specializes in the production of the commodity of its comparative advantage, the relative commodity price ratio moves towards each other. Okay, relative commodity price ratio moves toward each other. Right? It moves